talked about grounding with a spoon. I think it was back before Christmas or right around the Christmas holiday, right? And the reason why I didn't show you this then was because I didn't think I owned a magnet. So people said to me, how do you know your spoon is stainless steel? So if you missed that, here's a spoon. Right now, we are so worried about our immunity, and people are popping pills and in high doses, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that because there's a benefit to that. But why is there a benefit to that? Because vitamin C has a frequency that elevates your immune system. Whether it's an essential oil like On Guard, whether it's an essential oil or a supplement, B12, you know, obviously hand washing and all of those things still remain excellent strategies. But what can you do otherwise? Don't forget grounding. Most people now, it's still kind of cold in a lot of places. You're in your house a lot. So what are you doing? You're sitting in front of a TV, listening to the media talk about you know what. Fear-based stuff. Really, really kind of scary to be in a fear-based mentality. And that's why I did this today on my computer, because I'm going to be showing you something. But right now I want to go back to the grounding because that is so important. So if you don't really understand grounding and how it works, I'm going to make it really stupid simple. Think about your feet as the negative end of a battery and your head as the positive end of the battery. Because in case you didn't know this, you are stacks of battery packs. That's what we are. Every organ has a resonance. Everything has a frequency. Vitamin C has a frequency. That's why it's beneficial for your body. Everything is energy first. So if you can't put your feet on the ground and discharge a little bit each day, I talked about grounding with a spoon. Now, some people go, what are you talking about, you ground with a spoon? Well, remember, what's around me here is not nothing. There is no empty space. There's energy there. So what you're doing when you ground with a spoon on the bottom of your feet is you are beginning to start the flow of energy right from the bottom of that battery pack right through to the top. Now, if you understand the meridian system, this might make a little more sense to you. If anybody might be unfamiliar with energy, but familiar with like acupuncture, right? We know that there are meridians that run through the body. Think about the vagus nerve for a second. The vagus nerve is well talked about in the health coach community, of which I now am proud to step down from health coaching, because I can honestly tell you that you can't coach somebody effectively in health unless you understand energy first. So if you use a spoon on the bottom of your feet, you are increasing the flow of chi, the flow of energy, your life force. It's the stuff that travels through your vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is it's a wandering nerve. It goes all over the body, but it's got a couple of sides and it goes everywhere. So when you spoon the bottom of your feet, and there's actually a section, I'm not going to show you my foot, but if you look at the ball of your foot, right where the ball sort of meets the arch, right in through here, in that spot right there has a nerve plexus that is very, very intense, called kidney 1. And that goes to a lot of different meridians, a lot of different organs. So when we're resonating with fear and all of these emotions that are going on now, you really want to move energy, because I can tell you by using the biofield viewer and tuning forks, energy gets stuck in your field. And if it gets stuck, you're sucking the life force away from yourself. So bring it back if you can't get out with a spoon. So when I talked about it the last time, I wasn't able to show you this because I didn't have a magnet. But people asked me, Sandra, how do you know if your spoon is stainless steel? Because it's got to be a stainless steel spoon, okay? I just found a magnet. Never had a magnet in my house because I have a pacemaker. We don't do magnets very often. So I've got a magnetized backing of somebody's card. If you've got stainless steel, it's going to stick. So do you see that? There is a magnetic charge in stainless steel. Where is that magnetic charge coming from? It's coming from what the metal is made of, but it's also attracting things that are in the atmosphere because there's stuff here, okay? So that's how that works. So the spoon part itself doesn't stick very good, but I can show you if I put the back of the spoon on there. Works very well. I don't believe this is stainless steel. So do you see how that worked? That's how you can tell, is your spoon stainless steel? Most of the time Oneida is, or it'll say stainless from China or whatever, China. So that's how you tell. So grounding your feet every day with a spoon facilitates the flow of energy all the way up through your body. That's going to help you to de-stress to some degree because, again, everything is frequency. You want to calm down your nervous system. People are freaked out over this, and it's scary, I'm going to say. And it's not like there's no reason for concern, but there's no reason for alarm. Alarm is really going to get you in trouble. So let me show you something by sharing my screen for a moment. So the second thing that I wanted to show you today was just that. It was the fear-based part of this. So let me bring this up to a nice big screen so you can see it. Oh, okay, it's not that big. And there's my buddy, Dr. Thornton Streeter, Energy Medicine Exchange. So if you look at this slide, we talked about everything having a frequency. Everything in the world has its own frequency. It's kind of like everything in the world has its own cell phone number. And if you dial into that cell phone, if I call your number, I'm not getting Mary down the street, okay? I'm getting a direct connection to you. So here's why this is important. And I just watched a great video this morning by Deepak Chopra talking about the same thing. And he actually gave a couple of meditations this morning that were very powerful to raise our frequency. So again, you can be taking vitamin C, you can be doing all that stuff, which is trying to change matter with matter. Now, if you are vibrating in a state of fear, then you are more matter than energy. Human beings were not really meant to be more matter than energy. When you become more energy than matter, that's what they call enlightenment. So here's what I want to show you. If you look at this map, you can go find this map of consciousness probably all over the place. It just depends on where you're looking, but the maps are pretty much the same. When you're born, we call that the alpha point. You are contracted. You don't know where you are. You don't know who you are. You don't even know that you are. But you're very much working from your primitive forces. And by the time you reach age 6 to 7, you will have picked up some learning experiences from your mom, your dad, the kids you play with, or whatever. But that's where your beliefs are shaped. And that's where, you know, the mind is very plastic and can be molded. When we're in that 0 to 7, this is where everything is scary. Kids take temper tantrums. They're mad, right? They feel grief at the loss of a toy that somebody else is playing with. It's like the worst part of their day, right? Guilty. I can't believe you did that. You know, we're shaming people. So I'm only bringing that up to show you that these are contracted frequencies in our bodies, and they rest in the lower 3 chakras or energy centers, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, okay? These here are where we see our fear, right? We are now being feared into buying 65,000 rolls of toilet paper for a possible 14-day containment in our house, right? A little crazy. I mean, if you really did have to go to the bathroom, just take another shower. You know, I mean, it's just crazy, the fear. So if you've gone out and bought 62,000 rolls of toilet paper, you're living in fear. Fear is going to downregulate your nervous system and your genes. So now nobody else has done this but you. You are causing yourself to become more susceptible. So rather than go out and buy 62,000 rolls of toilet paper, check in with yourself and check your attitude and check your feelings and find ways every single minute of every day to feel love or above. Now, if you can't quite get there from here, it's kind of a process, right? If you look at this, these all resonate. 20 is shame, 30 is guilt, 50 is apathy. Most people are apathetic right about now. Fear is 100, still a contracted state of being. So you're resonating way down here, okay? When you're resonating down here, in the real world, which is energetic, not physical, because none of this is actually physical, it's just matter moving at different rates of speed. The only reason we see it is because we're in a body and, you know, we have a limited perspective as an embodied being. But when you're vibrating down here at these low levels, if you're somebody who's always saying, oh, when is life going to get better? Oh, the world is so hard. Oh, you know, it's always a freaking crisis. Why is it a crisis? Because that's what we're focusing on. We're focusing on our feelings instead of trying to change our feelings, which will then change matter. So if you're vibrating down here and you're fearful, you're contracted. And contraction and those low-level vibrations cause universal law to show its ugly head. Universal law, karma, reap what you sow. Okay, that's one, you could say it like that. That's a biblical term. You reap what you sow. What do you think they meant by that? They meant that you are going to resonate here. You are going to attract here. The Bible was trying to tell you that everything is energy, but not in the same words, not in the same terms, right? Karma, what goes around comes around. That's a universal law of attraction. That which you vibrate with, you will attract. And so if you look at your life and any aspect of your life, I'm currently in conversation with several people that are in this place, and you just want to help people and you want to send them love and kindness and peace, you know, and hope that they find this for themselves, because this is really the basis of your health. It's how your DNA will change for the positive or will change for the negative. It has nothing to do with your parents, and even epigenetics. Epigenetics, the influence of the atmosphere or the environment, is energetic and the vibration and the frequency. So there you go, right there in a nutshell. You change your frequency, change your whole life. So I wanted to show you this. So where are we kind of at neutral? Well, neutrality is about 250 hertz, right? Now, when we talk about hertz, if these frequencies, which we already know, ultraviolet, infrared, those are all frequencies, EMFs, 5G, frequencies. Why do you think 5G is so harmful? It's a frequency that is lowering our life force. But if we look at the green part, even if you can get to the part where you can be courageous, courageous is better than fearful. So if you can feel courageous, and say, I am not going to live in fear, you have just enhanced your immune system, because you are now no longer resonating with that ugly germ. You have elevated your frequency. You may not quite be a vibrational match to that anymore, right? So now at least neutrality is where we should opt for. Don't buy into all the hype on Facebook, for goodness sake, and stop watching the news, especially before bed. Why before bed? Because your body has different brainwave states. When you're in the state like I'm in right now, I'm speaking to you, I'm engaged with you, I'm in a beta brainwave state. As I start to wind down for the night, what you watch right before you go to bed embeds in your subconscious. And don't think the media doesn't know that. The media counts on that. They count on your fear, right? Because if not, they wouldn't have a story. They wouldn't have a job, right? If nobody responded to what was going on, but only took action with courage, this whole pandemic would take a little bit of a turn for the better. I'm not saying it would clear it up completely, but it would take a good turn for the better. Why? Because the majority of us would be expressing a vibration that was not harmonious with it. Law of attraction. It's a law. It doesn't go away, it doesn't bend, it doesn't change. It's a universal law. So willingness and acceptance, yes, this is a threat. However, I am going to think good thoughts. I am going to actually think loving thoughts for all the people in the world going through this, or whatever it is that you want to do. Now you're beginning to expand your consciousness, you're reasoning instead of, boom, letting that fear hit you like a ton of bricks. That state of brainwave right before you go to bed. So you're moving from a beta brainwave state into more of an alpha brainwave state. If you fall asleep in front of the television set, aside from the fact that that's just, honestly, that's a really bad thing to do. Get up and go to bed. If you're tired, you're tired. And, you know, aside from the light going into your eye and not giving you that, you know, that ability for your body to make melatonin, which is anti-cancer, right? Melatonin is super great. But now you're starting to move into a more theta state, which might be right before you go to bed, and then delta when you go to bed. So what are you putting in there just as you're about to fall asleep? This is more about what we should be talking about than all this other craziness out there. And honestly, I like Facebook in so many ways because I love to spend time with you. I want to hear what you think. I want to share everything I can share with you. But gosh, it's getting really bummer. And I don't do bummer. I just don't do bummer. You know, that's asking for. You're asking and resonating. There's got to be a reason why you want to resonate with that fear, because that's a choice. So if we think about this from an energetic standpoint, just like Deepak Chopra said, Shivoham, I think, was his mantra. Shivoham means I am consciousness. Now I'm living in a conscious state of awareness. I'm not living in a subconscious program of fear or whatever. Now we can start to expand and see more love in our lives, and see more joy in our lives, and see more peace in our world. So we have to realize we are the problem with the world, but we can be the solution, not only for ourselves, but the entire world. So my message to you today is to please resonate with love. We can help our entire situation, not just this situation, but so many other situations, with just the way we feel. Now, this is not about what we think. This is about what you feel, because feelings are the language of creation. Feelings are the language of the universe, okay? Words are really an electromagnetic output, but feelings are magnetic. Feelings carry a real charge and they're very powerful. So if we're all magnetically feeling fear, which gets stuck in your energy field out here, I can feel it with a tuning fork, you can see it with Biofield Viewer. If we're creating this huge magnetic thing with our feelings, we're bringing the very thing we don't want right to us. So my last piece of this, aside from I hope everybody's having a great Sunday, I was gardening this weekend. I actually took 2 days off of work. Well, 1.5, I'm gonna do the website today, but I was gardening, getting my hands in the dirt. It was great. It was very, very good for my soul. The other thing I wanna say is this. When the website is done, I'm going to be working on a couple of programs, and I'm going to be working on teaching you the very basics of energy medicine. If this is something you're interested in, I'd love to hear from you because we are going to do a beta test on some of these modules. So drop down and let me know if you're interested. Yes, I want to learn more about energy medicine. Because if I just put this out on Facebook, it's just out there. I don't know what you're getting. I don't know who's interested. I want to laser focus on the people who are really conscious or want to elevate their consciousness. I understand not everybody will want to do that. And that's okay. You can resonate with whatever you like. But if this is something you want to learn, then I'm going to be offering that.